Indigenous rights are the rights of the indigenous peoples of the world to maintain and develop their distinct identities, cultures, and ways of life. These rights include the right to self-determination, to practice traditional customs and beliefs, to access and use traditional lands, and to pursue economic, social, and cultural development. Indigenous rights are protected under international law, but they are often violated in practice. Land acknowledgments are a way to recognize and honor the indigenous peoples who have lived on and continue to use the land. Land acknowledgments are typically given at the beginning of public events, ceremonies, or meetings. They acknowledge the specific nations, tribes, or other indigenous peoples whose traditional territories the event is taking place on. They also recognize the ongoing relationship of those indigenous peoples to the land, and the significance of the land to their cultures. Land acknowledgments are an important part of the process of reconciliation between indigenous peoples and non-indigenous peoples. They recognize the legacy of colonization and displacement of indigenous peoples, and the importance of land to indigenous cultures. They also create an opportunity for education and dialogue about the history and present-day realities of indigenous peoples. In addition to land acknowledgments, there are a variety of other ways to support indigenous rights. These include recognizing the rights of indigenous peoples to pursue self-determination and self-governance, protecting indigenous cultures and languages, and ensuring access to and protection of traditional lands and resources. It is also important to recognize that indigenous rights are not just an indigenous issue. They are a global issue, and all of us have a responsibility to support indigenous peoples in their efforts to protect their rights and maintain their distinct cultures and ways of life. By acknowledging the significance of indigenous land and rights, we can take a step towards true reconciliation and a more equitable and just future.